Hey guys, this is Pete coming at you with a special evening edition of North Florida Smoke. Appreciate everybody who took the time to check out our first video. And this evening we're going to be doing a little overnight smoke, and we're going to be doing that with this bad boy here. We got a 13.5 pound prime brisket, and looking forward to getting this baby trimmed up and seasoned up and then ready to go on the smoker. Thank you guys for stopping by. Please take the time to like, rate, and subscribe. And let's get going on this brisket. This is a full packer brisket, so excited to do this tonight. Brisket's always scared me a bit because it's an expensive cut of meat and something that's very easy to dry out. So we're going to avoid doing that tonight, hopefully. Now, what we're going to do here with this brisket is get it trimmed up. Now, what it's got is a bunch of kind of hard fat and decal and stuff like that around the edge. And so we want to remove all of that, and we want to kind of get this thing, pretty uniform shape if we can. We have the wrap off our brisket now, and I've got it fat side up facing me. And then what I'm going to do is take a combination of my two smaller knives, and I'm going to just go ahead and start trimming some of the fat off here. So brisket all trimmed up. So we took around 2 pounds, a little under, off of this thing. And pretty happy with how it's looking here. So we're gonna go ahead and get it rubbed up. So just like I do with ribs, I'm gonna season it, let it sit so that I don't lose all that seasoning the second I turn it over. So I'm gonna season pretty heavily. So you're gonna see quite a bit go on there. And the reason for that is I wanna build a good bark. I'm gonna kind of take a handful of that, and I'm just gonna start layering this on top of that brisket there. So I'm going to try to avoid putting any clumps and stuff on if I can, but I do want this really heavily seasoned. And I'm going to get this fully covered here. I'm going to give it about 5 minutes or so before I go ahead and flip it over and season the other side. So we're going to turn this thing over meat side up here. We're going to use some of the seasoning that kind of fell off. And then we're gonna go ahead and just the same thing as before. We're gonna take some handfuls there and just try to spread that evenly out in a pretty heavy fashion. All right, here we are, guys. So we'll go ahead and turn this on. I usually would use my phone for this, but it doesn't really matter. It's gonna connect anyway. So go ahead and click the power button here. And the last smoke I was on was 275 degrees. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn that down a bit. And I'm thinking, I don't know, I'm thinking around 225 is where I want to start. And we're rolling. Guys, we are out here on the patio, and it is almost midnight. So we're going to go ahead and grab the brisket out of the fridge, and it's going on the smoker. Yeah! So let's get this opened up, nice and smoky in there. And I'm going to get on the underside of this. We're going to go fat side down. Right down here in the middle of the brisket, kind of like right in the thickest part of that flat. So pretty much right before the point starts. And I'm gonna go right down in there and make sure that I'm down in good. All right, guys, it is midnight and our brisket is on the smoker, and I am super excited. All right, guys, so while most everybody's sleeping, I am rolling smoke. And I don't think there's any place else I'd rather be. Good morning, guys. Had our brisket rolling all night long. And we are right in the middle of the stall here. 166. And chilling. So let's take a look. Starting to brown, starting to get that kind of nice deep red look to it, which is excellent. Beer has been replaced with coffee. This is how we do it on the overnight smoke. We are doing a brisket check. So we're sitting at 173 degrees right now. It's kind of just plowed through the stall, making it past 170 there. And starting to pick up a little bit of steam. I upped the temperature from 225 up to 250, and the goal here is to get a little bit more of that dark bark and just kind of settle that in at a little higher temperature. So we'll take a look and see how we're doing. It's looking pretty damn good. happy with the bark. Pretty happy with how that's looking overall. And so we're gonna keep it going.
Yeah, we're barbecuing.
All right.
All right.
Whoop whoop.
Whoop, whoop.
Where we're at right now is we're at 180 degrees, and I like how the bark looks. So let's go ahead and get it pulled off. Take a look here. Nice bark. And we are ready to get it wrapped up. All right, guys, it's time to go ahead and get the brisket wrapped up. So I've got 2 big pieces of butcher paper set up on the counter here, and I'm gonna go ahead and put my brisket right here in the middle. The thing is gonna get wrapped up just like a big present, and that's kind of what we're going for here. This meat side up. So I'm gonna put this underneath and just wrap this over. So it doesn't need to be wrapped up super tight. It doesn't really matter if it's permeable or not. It's gonna kind of soak through onto the meat anyway. We've got our brisket all wrapped up here, and I took some of that cran apple and just kind of spritzed it over the top just to kind of keep a little moisture in the paper. So we're gonna go ahead and get this back on the smoker. And then I'm gonna do kind of the same thing with the probe. And the one I'm really worried about is the one that goes right in the flat. So we're just gonna kind of go from the top here and put that right down into the flat just like it was before. Once it gets around the 200 degree mark on these probes, I'm gonna get my Thermapen MK4, and that's by ThermaWorks, and I'll be using that to temp it throughout and just kind of keep probing it. All right, guys, this thing's sitting at 201, but if you'll notice, like, see how that's just super, super soft there? And it's super high in the... I'm gonna go ahead and pull this thing off. We're sitting at about 203, 205-ish. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull it off. We're gonna get it wrapped up in a towel and then get it resting. Smells amazing. Time to wrap in a towel. Got an old ratty towel. We're gonna go ahead and get that wrapped up, and then I'm gonna put it in the oven, which is off and cool. And it's gonna sit there for roughly about an hour before we get it sliced.
Do you want to go and see it?
There's our brisket.
You can go see it, but it's
nice and steamy, so
after
we'll cut into it, see how it looks.
you eat really good.
So you can see you got a little jiggle to it. That's what we're looking for. Nice bark over the top. And we're gonna just slice it right down there, and we'll take a look inside and see how we did.
Eat good. Gotta eat a good dinner.
And that there, ladies and gentlemen, is what we're looking for. Nice bark, nice smoke ring, looks nice and moist. And I'm pretty excited to get sliced into this thing. Let's take a look at the flat. Pick that up for you. See those juices there. Looking pretty good. I'll get the point cut up here.
Racing? Where's my queen? Oh, we were waiting for him to come, weren't we? We thought we might win.
Take a look at that. Nice and moist.
Is the queen red?
This is the fattier part of the brisket.
We were looking for a red card.
Cut that down into slices. And this is pretty perfect. I'll give those to the camera person.
Thank you. Boy.
Yum. Approved.